Yeah. All right, hey, shalom. First off, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, B'chakodash. All right, Yahweh is the Heavenly Father's true name in the ancient Hebrew, and Yahushai is the name of his only begotten Son, Savior of the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Peace, grace, and mercy be upon the house of David, the Bayath Dawadah, which is the elect, the men, women, and children that are predestined to receive salvation and to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Israel. And double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who we learned the truth from. And honest salutations and blessings to the men that are pushing the gospel of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, in all sincerity, diligence, and truth. And to the men, women, and children that's listening and learning and keeping the faith of Yahushai to the best of their ability and staying in the Holy Spirit to the best of their ability day in and day out. You know, I got the brothers Bakwar and the brother Haran here with me. You know, through the Spirit, we just want to, you know, just jump into various topics, you know, wherever the Spirit leads us. You know, we were just talking about how, you know, it's high time, you know, coming into so-called 2020, all right? You know, what's that 2020 vision, right? The year, Lord willing, to be the year of the vision that we are looking for, all right? The prophecy of our redemption, all right? Our salvation, which is drawing nigh, you know, seeing the signs of the times, things that's going on. You know, brothers talking about the what is that? The solar eclipse that's supposed to be happening. Is that tomorrow?
I think it's actually tomorrow. Yeah,
tomorrow. Because today, you know, sundown will be the new moon. All right, the so-called the new moon of this so-called last year. All right, so we coming into, you know, Lord willing, beautiful times. And you see the prophecies, everything that's going on. You see, you know, that everything is speeding up, man. The Lord has a lot of things happening. You know, the demonization, right, the persecution. But with that comes also what? The power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai being manifested through his men. All right. You can get 2 Ezra 16, but you get that real quick because the Lord said he's going to make his chosen known. You know, he's going to make us to shine in the day of that visitation. You know? So we not afraid or you know, timid when all this, you know, demonization comes up on us. You know, that just furthers our strength, you know, makes us even more bold in the Lord because, you know, the Lord willing, we are counted worthy to be, you know, chastised for his sake so that we can get the glory also, you know, when he returns. You know, we got to take both sides. You know what I mean? It's the perfect balance.
That's right.
So you get that.
This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
There you go. So you got to, it says knowing the time, all right? And who is the ones that are going to know the time? Get Habakkuk 2, all right? The ones who are sitting upon their watch, all right? And also was that Isaiah 60, 62? I've said a watchman, you know? So we are commanded to be, to know the time, what time it is, man. All right? And the Lord, Yahushai, when he was on the scene, all right, he told the disciples there's certain things that you're supposed to look for, all right? You know, certain things that we gotta look for during during his before he comes, you know, that precedes his return. All right. And certain one of the things is what? The signs in the heavens, you know, the solar eclipse, 3 hours, you know, and brothers already mentioned the day after what they deem, this world deems as the Lord's birthday, or which we know is not but a paganistic, you know, a Babylonian ritual, or, you know, paganistic Babylonian day, all right, so-called holiday. And that's what this world is into today. But even with that, I mean, that vibration is being depleted, man. You know, there are a lot of people, I didn't really hear that many, you know, Christmas caroling and jingle bell songs and things of that nature, you know, this year. There's not a lot of people got their Christmas lights and shit like that, you know, up right now because the Lord is killing that vibration, man. He's bringing, as the title says, he's chanting down Babylon. And it's by the way of the spirit of his mouth, his prophets, man. Because, hey, through the spirit, man, you know, the Lord said, well, he can't do nothing. He doesn't do nothing, but he revealed his secrets to his servants, the prophets. So the Lord is bound by his prophecy. But in order for his prophecy to come to pass, you got to have what? The prophets actually prophesied. So it's not of us that's doing it. It's of the Lord. But he has us doing it so that he can actually, saying it, I should say, so that he can actually bring it to pass. And this whole world is basically going off of the vibration of this truth, man. You know, everything is starting to, you know, formulate around the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. That's right. Anybody got anything to say, brother?
I got Habakkuk. It's Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch.
You still got Romans, because you're going to go through that too. So.
Habakkuk 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
There you go, man. So we are commanded to watch what the Lord is going to say. All right, now we already have the words that he said, but we have to take those words and link it up to what current events, because that's how the Lord is speaking. Was that 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter?
Yep.
The Lord said what? That measure the times diligently within themselves. So that's what we're doing, and that's how we are actually watching. And that's why you got to be diligent and consistent with watching. You know, you can't go watch for a little bit and go back to sleep or go back in the world, because you're gonna miss it. You know, you're gonna miss parts of the movie, and you won't be able to. You know, if it's like you watch the movie and you just go to the store, but the movie's still playing, and then you come back and you're like, oh, what's going on? Like, what just happened? How this person died? You know, or how this person comes? You know what I mean? So you gotta always consistently be watching the movie. You know, and then when you do that, not just watching, but we also gotta, as prophets, we gotta go out and warn the people, because that's our job.
Yeah, real quick, and just like you were saying, if you're not watching the signs, man, the Lord said the prophecies are set to happen at a specific point in time. So if you miss it, it's not going to stop and pause till you come back so they can happen, so you can see it. And if the Lord said there was going to be a shooting star in one direction, and that's the direction you're supposed to follow, if you turn around and you miss the shooting star, you're not going to know that shooting star came, because everything will look like it was before you turned around. Not knowing that the Lord has given you the sign, but because you weren't watching, you thinking the sign hasn't come yet. You know, so next thing you know, a flood comes in and boom, you're dead. You know, you can't say the Lord didn't give you a sign because you weren't watching. You know, that's why it says he shall come as a thief in the night, all right, upon these people, because they're not watching.
When they shall say peace and safety. Okay, and that's what peace and security, man. You know, even these Edomites, these top bankers, what's their main priority? Is to create a new world order. Okay, now in order to create a new world order, they need to have some type of security. That's why Trump is buffing up this military stuff. Okay, but it's all coming to naught, man. Scriptures say when they shall say peace and safety. Okay, why are they pushing out the chips so much? For what? Safety. You're not gonna have your credit card stolen. You're not gonna have your information compromised. Everything is gonna be in your own power, man. That's what they're trying to say, and that's all peace and what? Safety. Okay, and what? It says sudden destruction cometh upon them, man. Okay? But like the brother was saying earlier, man, we're in the times where the Most High is about to start magnifying his men, okay, to glorify his name, man. You see what I'm saying? Because what? We've been prophesying for years, even men who before us, been prophesying for years, man. Okay, men, I'm talking generations, 2,000 years ago, been prophesying about the downfall of America, man. Okay, and now it's about to be made manifest, man. It's the book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 73. It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Okay, who are the chosen? The elect, but predominantly the men that you see who go in the highways and byways, man. Okay, those the prophets who are pushing this word out. Those same prophets who are soon to be very persecuted on Broad Street. Okay, those same men that everybody's gonna talk shit about. Those same men that nobody's reverencing. Yes, those same men are the chosen that the Lord is talking about, man. Okay, he's gonna make it all manifest, man. It says what? And they shall be tried as gold in the fire, man. Okay, what happens when you put gold in fire, man? It gets purified. Okay, it gets cleansed. It gets purified. Okay, that's the same thing we're going through. We're going through the spiritual and physical fights, man. The spiritual and physical fire. Okay, what is it doing? It's purifying us. It's strengthening us, man. Okay, making us worthy to what? To receive that kingdom.
Hey, and something with that, you know, like the gold that's going through the fire, I did a video on it. The fire doesn't make the gold valuable. I mean, it doesn't, because the gold is already valuable. You know, it just makes it to shine. It makes it, you know, basically desirable. You know, but it was already gold, and that's why the Lord said, you know, that He already has His predestined. You know, those jewels that of the Lord, those starting with the 144,000, they already to the Lord are already basically precious. Yeah, but it's just like when you have a gold, you know, a person, let's say somebody digs and finds gold, whatever, they already know that this thing is precious, but they have to do what? They have to refine it or make it, you know, go through the fire so that the world can see how precious it is. And that's what the Lord's going to do with His men. And that's why the men have to go through the furnace of affliction. That's why the men have to go through, you know, being tried. So that's when He said, what? Then shall my chosen be known. All right? Because that's what He's going to make everybody to see, that these men are my chosen. You didn't look at them as gold. You didn't look at them as valuable. You looked at them as an offspring of the earth. You looked at them as being, as the second Chronicles, you misused the prophets. But I'm gonna transform them, and they're gonna go through this fire. And then now you're going to see how valuable they are. Now you're going to see how precious they are. and that's when everybody's going to, you know, the Lord want to be those men. That's what everybody's going to reverence and respect and worship the men of the Lord, as it says in the second, was that Revelation 3rd chapter? Okay,
Yeah.
but and it's all going to go to the glory of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Isaiah 13th chapter, I shall make a man more precious than fine gold. How's the Lord going to do that? By putting you through that furnace of adversity. You know, because like the brother just said, man, prior to going through that, it's not really desired, all right, until afterwards, all right, it's desired on a certain level. You know, that's why the Lord said we're going to be more precious than even the gold of Ophir, okay? Because at that time, man, it's going to be the value. Why do people value gold? Because gold can bring them wealth. What is wealth? Wealth is comfort, safety, protection, shelter, food, all these different things.
Wisdom is money is a defense.
Money is a defense. That's right. You know, and so in that day, a man of the Lord is going to be that defense. Isaiah 32:2. All right, man shall be as an hiding place. Okay, so when they see a man of the Lord, they're gonna see more than just a man. They're gonna see their protection. They're gonna see their reproach being taken away. They're gonna see salvation. They're gonna see all these different things, and that is why the men of the Lord are gonna become so valuable. Okay,
and hey, if you look up the word tried, it goes into the word, it says tested, proven, trusty. Okay, so these are all three attributes that you want to see in a man. Everyone wants to see that in a man. If you want to have a man as I call him my friend or my brother, you want to make sure he's tested, he's proven, and he's trusted.
It says that the scripture, a friend is found in the day of adversity.
In the day of adversity, exactly. Why? Because in the day of adversity, that's when you truly know who's with you and who's not, man. Because people want to be, especially in this day and age, people want to be around those who have it. Once you don't have it, they feel like, oh, he might be a burden onto me. Rather, there's a saying that says, a friend in need is a friend indeed, man. Okay, so when that's how you know who's really a friend of yours. But you know, even to hire somebody to work for you, you want to make sure they're tested, they're proven, and they're trusty. Okay, if you want to even work for somebody, you want to make sure they're tested, proven, and trusty. Okay, so the Lord is looking for what? The men to use on the battlefield. Okay, to represent Him on this earth, they better be tried, they better be tested, proven, and trusty. That's why scriptures tell you to give your body as a living sacrifice. Okay, so it tells you what to be a good soldier for Hamashiach. So all these different things are all qualities. That's what putting you through being the phase of the gold being tried, man. Okay, that's all these different things going out in the highways and byways, the elements, whether it's cold, hot, whatever it is, snow, rain, all that stuff, man. Dealing with family members, dealing with all the temptation in this world. Okay, and succumbing these things, the fleshly challenges, and then also building yourself up spiritually. Okay, these are all different challenges that men actually go through, man. Things that you people don't see, we go through that, man. Okay, we don't talk about them, but we go through them. These are all part of the trying stage, the testing stage, so we can be proven. Okay, so the Most High will have what? He'll have favor in our sight, man, or we'll have favor in His sight.
Because it's ultimately about the reward of the Lord putting those crowns upon our heads of being joint heirs with Him. So the Lord not gonna make somebody a joint heir with him, somebody that's not proven to be a righteous king, somebody that's not proven, or tested, to be a leader, of nations. When you have a righteous king, when you have a leader of a nations, and that's why Esau has been so wicked, because he's not proven. That's why his rulership is deteriorating, because he hasn't been tested, to be righteous. But the Lord, us walking this walk, being in this world but not of this world, being in this flesh but desiring to walk and live spiritually. That's how we're walking and being tested to be, kings. That's why the Lord said, let me get that real quick, that He has made us kings again unto our power. Hold on, was that Revelation? It's a book of Slakia. Book of Revelation, chapter 1. Where is it at? Yep. The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 5. It says, "And from Yahweh Shai, who is the faithful witness and the first begotten of the dead and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto Him that loved us and washed us from our sins in His own blood, and hath made us kings and priests unto God and His Father, to Him be glory and dominion forever and ever." So it all starts with the King of Kings, Yahweh Shai. And the ones that follow Him, follow the Lamb, wherever we go with, the 144,000. That's us being tested, following Yahweh Shai wherever he goes, man. And Yahweh Shai is with us. So any walk that we're walking, if we're in Yahweh Shai, we're following Him. So when we get persecuted, it's because of Yahweh Shai. It's not because of us, it's because that we're following the Lamb wherever we go. So when people come up against you, when you get demonized, when you get ostracized, your job finds out and fires you, all these things that we're coming into, the high time that we're coming into, understand that that's because we're following Yahweh Shai. And those that follow Yahweh Shai, you go through that, you endure that, as Yahweh Shai said, he that endureth it to the end, you're going to get what? You're proven now to receive that crown, to be worthy of that crown of righteousness, of being a king, of being a joint heir with him.
That's right. Yeah. Like you said, it's a beautiful thought because when you think about it, you got to really think about the examples he gives about that, walking that straight and narrow path, because we're literally walking in the same path that Yahushua was walking in. Mm-hmm. He just walked it before us, like in this time period.
What he told the two brothers, are you able to be baptized of the baptism that I'm baptized with, drink of the cup?
That's right.
He said you indeed will do that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. So if the path Yahushua walked, if it gets to a path where you're going to have to walk on hot coals, because that's what's on the floor, you're going to have to walk on it. He walked on it prior. Just know that because you're going down the same path, you're going to go face it.
It's like you're going down a path, like a tight path, and there's like a whole bunch of bushes and like thorns and everything. Mm-hmm. He walked it first, so it's never been trodden first.
Right.
So he got the majority, the bulk of the thorns and everything. But when he walked it, he moved it, moved things around, and we created a path. Now we still walking that same path, so it's not going to be as many thorns. It's not going to be as many, scrapes and scratches, but we still want to get those. Right. That's kind of how
that's beautifully add on, beautifully said, because now he already told us because he went through it. At this point, don't fear not, because I have overcome it. Because, there were thorns. You will face thorns, but guess what? I already paved that path. All right. And I got to the end of it. Mm-hmm. So there's a path for you now to walk because I made that path. So I've defeated death. So now when you guys come and walk, don't fear what's going to happen to you because I've already got to the end. And if I could get to the end and you're my servants, guess what? You're going to get there too. All right. Now, real quick, I've got some shoe out. It's an inside joke. Don't be. Wisdom of Solomon 3 verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God. And there shall no torment touch them. Oh, you had that? I'll read it. Wisdom of Solomon 3 verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and there shall no torment touch them.
I'll read it for you. You can break that.
Come.
Wisdom of Solomon 3 verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. Mm-hmm. And in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery.
That's right. That's why key word, in the sight of the unwise. All right. People will see us and they'll see what we're going through. They'll see what's about to happen to us. And they'll think that you know what I'm saying? That you guys are dying. You guys are wasting your life. What Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter says what? How are they numbered among the children of the Most High? They accounted our end to be without honor. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they see it as you're wasting your life. You're going to die for some stupid ass dress wearing cult.
Hey, I got even a personal testimony, with the whole situation happened with us. I had told my dad, he was like, oh, y'all need to stop going out there. He thought our end was going to be without honor, and I just went through one ear out the other. I'm like, yo, y'all read the scriptures, but y'all ain't trying to live it. You supposed to be, a pastor, this and that. This is what Yahweh said that was going to happen. You're supposed to, you telling me to stop doing that. The Lord didn't say that when you start following him, you're going to prosper. You're going to be, have a big $multi-million church. You're going to live a life of luxury. The scripture says that all they that serve Yahweh must suffer persecution. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it. So you're going on the wrong path.
Exactly.
Because the Lord said when you 5 miles deep, you're going to find thorns. 10 miles deep, you're going to walk on hot coals. But you going in 5 miles deep, there's a nice jacuzzi.
Chicken
sandwich. A nice jacuzzi with some nice women in there. You like, tell me what? This ain't the bad house I went through. You know what I'm saying? He was a man acquainted with great grief. That's not grieving. Mm-hmm. So but they don't see it that way.
Yep.
So when you start going through the true path of Yahweh Shai, they try to stop you. Oh no, you wasted. Come this path. Jesus. See, this is the path of Jesus. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You walk in the path of Yahweh Shai, but they don't know Yahweh Shai. Mm-hmm. Okay? So they think you walk in the path of a stranger. So they'll look at you as a stranger because why? You're following somebody that's a stranger to them. You see, and it's not until the Lord gets glorified that we will get glorified. You see, because people glorify pastors because they glorify Jesus. So when people reverence Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for the true power, they're gonna reverence us for being the men of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Because they demonize Yahushai right now. The anti-Semitic sign, Yahushai is coming. You know, that right there, hey man, that's y'all brothers gotta realize how significant that is, man. Because they put that on national news. And all it said was Yahushua is coming. Now, if it said Jesus is coming, guess what? The so-called Jews, those Amalekites, they don't believe in the Messiah. So would that be anti-Semitic too? They wouldn't look at that as anti-Semitic, but they know that that's why Yahushua said it when they come preaching another Jesus. Because that Jesus, Caesar Borgia, Serapis Christus, that's what's on the minds of the people. And that's what has deceived the people. But in the last day, the Lord has did what? He has raised up his name in the land of the captivity. They should think upon themselves and remember my name. So that name, Yahweh Shai, that's the name that's hated throughout the world. That's the name that's always been adverse to this age, to the age of Esau. So that's why that name is starting to ring bells. That's why that name is starting to cause dissensions, cause tension. No other name under heaven has done that, man. You know, you're not gonna find in history where somebody's gonna say an actual name. You say somebody is coming. That's like me saying, yo, Billy's coming. Oh, that's hate speech. Like, why? You gotta think about that. Why is that hate speech? How do you feel about Billy? Well, how does Billy feel about you? What do you think Billy's gonna do to you if he get here? Like, why are you putting this on national news and saying if the Billy comes, it's a problem? You know what I mean? And that's why you gotta understand who runs this world. All right, Esau, Edom, and not just Esau, Edom, but what? Amalek, man. They're the ones that control the media. They control the banking. I think this is them. Yeah. Go ahead.
God, hey, so just like the brother was saying, man, they control it all, man. Okay, so here it is. You're talking about the problem. See, the problem wasn't with it's coming. The problem was with the name Yahushua, because we put, like the brother said, if we put Jesus is coming, it wouldn't be an issue. But when they see Yahushua, these elites that run up, they're like, oh, nope, send it down, send the orders down, take it down, but demonize it. You know why? Because what these elites want to do is on first impact from the truth to the people, before it gets to the people, they want to intervene and demonize it. Because they can't stop it from getting to you. So they want it to get to you, but you have the wrong idea of it. Same thing with chariots. You know, their first thing was demonize it. So when the time comes where we can't hide it anymore, at least when they see it, they think of it the way we want them to think of it. Because they can't hide the fact that Yahushua is coming, so they have to demonize the fact that Yahushua is coming.
It's like Esau is so stupid because he misunderstood how this thing really works, man. The truth is like a seed, and you could plant it no matter what soil you plant it in. Esau's thinking, okay, we have some corn seed over here, okay, because I'm using corn because the Lord said He's going to sift Israel like a corn is sifted out of all these seeds, out of all these different nations. So the nation is the Israel is going to be represented as corn. Esau seen the corn and he said, look, I'm going to plant the corn in Africa. I'm going to plant some in Asia. I'm going to plant some in someplace in Europe. I'm going to plant some here in America, all this stuff. So they're not going to see it no more. But it's the truth. The truth is what? The corn started germinating. Every different continent or country you placed it in, thinking that you're going to disperse it and that's it. No, it started to germinate. And now everybody's looking at, oh shit, that's corn. Oh my God, wow, I couldn't believe that. I thought there was no more corn. Oh, that's the truth. Oh man, those are the real Jews. Wow, the Israelites. Oh, I didn't know that. You know? And now Esau's like, no, hold on a second. This is getting out of control. Ah shit, we planted corn thinking that we're gonna hide it, but guess what? The truth is coming out. It's germinating. The more you try to hide it, the more it comes out. The more you try to demonize the Lord, the prophets of the Lord, guess what? The more people wake up to like, wait, we're talking about. Israelites, man, they be saying some shit, but hold on. I've never seen them. They're not terrorists. They're not a violent group. They're not this. They're not that. You gotta understand that's all part of the persecution, man. You know, that's all part of the persecution. And guess what? Through this truth, Scripture says you can't do anything against the truth before the truth. Yes, that's true, man. That's facts. Okay, we see that right now. We're living that right now. Upon all these years and the research and the studies that Esau has done, yet you still have men telling the truth, coming out with facts, coming out with biblical information, understanding, coming out with secular information, okay? Coming out with different stuff that's getting people to actually think, man. And at the beginning of the stream, the brother mentioned about how the Christmas spirit is dead. Okay, how do you think that's happening? Why do you think that's happening? It's because people were in ignorance. But now, because of truth, we're blotting out all that ignorance, man. We're bringing down the strongholds, man. Okay, and we're giving what? Life. We're giving truth. Okay, we're telling people, hey, you can live a better life if you do this. Stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, catfish, all that stuff, man. Stop committing adultery. Okay, get into this truth, man. Know your laws, statutes, and commandments. All these different things, they add up. Okay, they add up to what? Bringing up the family home, man, and taking away from Esau's philosophies, man. Okay, building yourself up and taking away from Esau, man. That's pissing them off. That's why they're coming up against us. Okay, they're not coming up against any other Israelite groups. They're coming up against the true men of the Lord, and they're not even talking about camps. They're talking about men. Okay, men that they know that the Lord is dealing with, man. Because guess what? When they came and took our IDs, man, they didn't just go home and just research in the system. No, they got some satanic priests that they showed them like, yo, who's this guy? What is this person? This and that. So they came to specific brothers, man. Why do you think that is, man? They're doing more of that. Okay, who's he affiliated with? And these devils got high level demons that actually do these seances, man. Okay, they see brothers on video. They be like, oh, that guy is this person coming back. Or that guy, he's that person. They know, man. They know. Brothers always bring it out. You think they're stupid, man? They get into witchcraft and all that shit.
Why do you think they're so scared, man?
Yeah.
Why do you think they wanna? They're very cautious. If you look at how they speak, especially when they, number one, they're very, very cautious when they put us in the media. But number two, they're very cautious on what they say because they know how badly it can backfire. You know, because when dealing with the truth, regardless of what you do, it's gonna be the truth, man. Now I got a precept. This is 1 Ezra chapter 4, verse 33. It says, then the king and the princes looked one upon another, so he began to speak of the truth. Now that he is talking about Zerubbabel. It says, O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course. For he compasseth the heavens round about, and fetcheth his course again to his own place in one day. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things. All the earth crieth upon the truth, and the heaven blesseth it. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing. Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. And in their unrighteousness shall they perish. As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. Because what? The truth has been there since the creation of the earth. The truth is going to be there until all eternity. Because the truth is something that regardless of what you do, you can't take away. Okay? The truth is just there. No matter how hard you try to hide it, it will come out. You know? The truth isn't something you can murder and then it just disappears. No. Because one way or the other, somebody will put two and two together and come up with that conclusion of this has got to be the truth. And they'll find out who are the liars. Okay? It says, with her, there is no accepting of persons or rewards. Why? Because if you've done something and they want the truth about it, it doesn't matter who you are. The truth isn't going to turn into something else because of who it's accusing or who's at fault when it comes out. No, regardless of what you do, the truth is going to be the truth. So Esau's trying his hardest to put this away. Like the brother gave the example of the corn. He's trying to plant corn in the midst of an apple tree, or apple garden somewhere in some far country. But guess what? Somebody who works in that apple garden is going to see, yo, time out. This fruit here is corn. This is not an apple, you know? So regardless of what you do and how long it takes, somebody's going to find out that, time out, hold up, there's corn in here. So you're going around talking about corn is extinct. They're going to say, oh, there was a certain farmer who just discovered that there's corn in Alaska or whatever. You know, then what? You can't hide it, you know? And that's why Esau is very cautious because no matter what you do, you can say the corn is poisonous. You can say this, and that. You're only bringing more attention to it. And people will come to it and say, okay, I'm going to find out for myself whether it's poisonous or not, you know? So you demonizing this truth, that's only going to bring people to it to find out what you're talking about. You know, oh, they're terrorists, they're this, they're that. But wait, I've never heard what they... Time out, hold on. Let me see what this is. Type it in. What Yahweh or Yahushai is coming. All they got to type in is Yahushai. And you're going to have Israelites among Amalek that are going to look it up and be like, yo, Yahushai. And that's going to mindfuck you because you're going to be like, time out. You're saying this is anti-Semitic, but your own Amalekites are quote-unquote converting or waking up and coming against you. So what are you gonna call that? Are they anti-Semitic?
Hey, what about the guy that scholar who was doing a video, he mentioned the name of the Lord, man. He said, and in the book, Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again. And he broke it down. I was like, yo, he's a so-called Edomite, right? A so-called white man. He could be an Edomite. We don't know. But the fact that he could say the name with such confidence and just keep teaching and break down the fact that, yo, these are the true Jews and all that. I'm like, yo, this is the truth, man. Years ago, he would not even dream about talking about that. Why? Because he's enjoying the benefits of looking the way he looks. Okay, so he's not going to try to take that. But now it's like the truth is so out. It's like, okay, you know what? Hey, listen, the way it's looking right now, I might as well, if I can't beat him, I might as well just join him. But it's too late, bro. That's why it says what? The Most High is going to close the breaches thereof. Okay?
That's what it says right here, that with her, there is no accepting of persons or rewards. Because what would make somebody who's, let's say, a so-called Edomite, right? Not so-called, but let's say he is an Edomite, right? What would make him come out and turn on his own so-called people, all right, to support the enemy? The truth is the truth. So in his mind, he's not thinking of it of, oh, I'm selling out my people to bring to big up the enemy. No, I'm just telling the truth. That's why it says it's not with her. There is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she doeth the things that are just, and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things, and all men do well like of her works. Neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness, and she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty of all ages. Blessed be the God of truth. Okay, so that's just that.
Hey, the scripture also say that is that Joel 2:28, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. So that's why you be having Edomites be having these bugged out these dreams of the Lord coming back. You had that one chick, that little girl saying, "Oh, he's coming, he's coming." You got Edomites breaking, like scholarly looking Edomites that's breaking out information about the truth and who the real Israelites are and everything like that. They're not realizing that that's for their detrimental. Because if they're Edomites, the Israelites waking up is only going to just cause them to go down. But at the end of the day, the Lord said that the deceived and the deceiver is his. So he's controlling everything, man. Just like how he used, King Cyrus to make the decree for Israel to build the temple. Now, imagine if that was a time for us to get the kingdom, and Israel was in that mindset of all of Israel coming back. Guess what? If we would have did that, we would have took down that kingdom. And then they would have went into captivity, and Cyrus right along with them. But the Lord used Cyrus to make that decree. The Lord he's used other nations of people. The woman that made the pact with Israel when they was basically spying, Rahab. Yep. She used her so that we can go in there and spy out the land, and she basically let our forefathers, come in, and then she was like, yo, just make this deal with me to save me and my family. So Lord can use anybody, man. He has, of course, he has the Israelites, his prophets as his prophets, but he has this I will pour my spirit upon all flesh. So he has tons of ways to get this truth out, man. And even like the brother was saying, you putting it out there in your media, you devil's thinking that you're actually doing something against it. You're only really doing something for the truth, man. You're only furthering the gospel. You're only furthering, because it's not about everybody. You might deceive, when you put out the media, Yahushua is coming, it's anti-Semitic, you might deceive 100 million people. But if 2 people saw that and woke up, guess what? That's the 2 people that the heavens are rejoicing about. Right. The angels are rejoicing about. Right. The 2 people. Imagine that was the last people that needed to see that to wake up. You like, yes, we got 100 million people. 2 people wake up. Your shit's done.
You're done. You're done. I got something too. Because you mentioned how the Lord uses certain people, and the Lord can use somebody that's not an Israelite to the one. That's the Lord can use somebody that's not an Israelite to where you might be like, yo, but tell me, are you sure he's a heathen? Like was this Bel and the Dragon 1:28? When they of Babylon heard that, they took great indignation and conspired against the king, which was Cyrus. All right. Saying the king is become a Jew, and he have destroyed Bel, he has slain the dragon and put the priest to death. So the Lord put the spirit on Cyrus to be peaceful with Israel, all right, for Israel's benefit. The same, because he'll give Israelites favor in the sight of these kings, so they can work, all right, to the benefit of Israel. But it's really the Lord using them, all right. And here it is, Cyrus got so close with Daniel that they said, yo, he's become a Jew. You know, they said, yo, they done converted this guy into a Jew, which we know that's not how it works. But that's how the Lord can use somebody, all right, to the extent where it's not, you know, it's not of them, you know, but it's of the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So the Lord is using Esau to do everything he's doing now. Every thought that comes into you, Rothschild's mind, Amos 4:13, Proverbs 21:1. All right, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turneth whithersoever he will. Okay, every thought that comes into your mind, the Lord made you do it. Okay, the Lord is playing chess with you, man. Okay, he's baiting you. He'll put his piece here so you can put your piece here. Why? Because he's telling you put your piece here, and then he's making you think you're telling yourself put your piece here. You know, and that's why it says, hey, Second Ezra tells you what they were scared yet durst fight. Romans tells you the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. All right, so that he can glorify himself.
Hey, the Most High is the ultimate strategist, man. You know what I'm saying? He knows how the war is going to play out. He says, look, if I put a soldier here and I put a garrison here, there's only one way. This guy's going to come right through here. So I'm going to wait. You know, you block off this, you block off that. That's like GTA. When you set up the heist, you say, okay, look, the cameras go, we have 60 seconds, okay? You block out this, you put the gas chamber here, you do this, you do that. By the time it runs out, that's how long it's going to take for the cops to get here. So we have enough time to run through here, go through a tunnel, drive through here, meet these guys over here, pass the money, and they could, you see? So he plans all that out. So he knows exactly what you're going to do. It's called prophecy. That's why he says what? He's the one who declares the end from the beginning. Mm-hmm. You can't, listen, when I wake up in the morning, none of us wake up in the morning and say, this evening, this is how everything is going to play out. You could say, this evening, I'm probably going to hit the gym this evening, whatever, right? Just an example. Cool. Something could happen. It could rain. It could do some shit could happen where you'd be like, we know. Damn, no, we know. You know, we know. And then you'd be like, oh shit, what the man? All right, fuck, I can't go to the gym today. But the Lord declares the end from the beginning. He tells you that, look, this is what Esau is going to do in the last days. This is what Jake is going to do in the last days. We're seeing it happening. He says what? There'll be riots, wars, and rumors of war. We're seeing it happening. He said what? They're going to be persecuting you for your house Shai's name's sake. That's what's happening right now. They're talking about what? Earthquakes in diverse places. We're looking at it right now.
Oh, the example I gave you, remember in the car last time, where he can tell you what you're gonna do, and you can even have it in mind that you know what, like about the pen.
Peter.
No, about the pen. That the Lord tells you at 5 o'clock this evening, you're gonna pick up a pen off the floor.
Oh yeah.
And you're gonna say nah. And let's say it's 12 o'clock, right? You telling yourself nah. So the whole day, what's on your mind is I'm looking down, I'm making sure my head's in my pocket, I'm not touching no pen off the floor. But check this out. 4:55, right? You going home, you about to open your door downstairs, right? And then somebody comes up to you, hey, while we're doing this petition, it's for breast cancer. You know, if you don't mind, could you please sign this for us? And you're like, what breast cancer? So he starts talking your ears off. You're like, whatever. Mind you, now it's 4:58. So he's like, yeah, I got you. Just sign your name right here, and we'll send you a $500 in advance. $500? Shit, I need that, right? Mm-hmm. Boom. He goes to click the pen. It falls out of his hand. Out of excitement for the $500, he's like, oh yeah, don't worry, I got you. Boom, it's 5 o'clock. You've picked up the pen. You pick it up, you sign the pamphlet, you give it back to him, you go upstairs. Oh, thank you so much. You remember, oh shit, it's 5 o'clock. I just picked up a pen off the floor. The Lord said I was going to do that. I told myself I wasn't going to do it. I did everything in my power not to do it. But guess what? At the very point in time, the Lord made you do it. Because in your mind, what were you thinking of? $500. You didn't think of the pen falling because you were distracted by the person telling you all these different things. And here it is. We're telling Esau, hey, this is what's going to happen. Esau saying, hell no, I'm going to stop it. But on your way to stop it, you are fulfilling it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Hey, got something. Because I mentioned how, hey, and the thing is, like, yo, that's even with, like, you know, creating the internet, which was prophecy for this word to go out throughout the four corners of the earth. Because the Lord said, what? My word should go throughout the four corners of the earth as a witness to all nations, and then shall the end come. Esau is the one who created, well, really the Lord, but he used Esau to be the one to have the technology to come out and make the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to go out throughout the four corners of the earth. So this is Psalm chapter 106. I'm gonna start at verse 34. I'm gonna read down. It says, they did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them. Now, this is the Lord, you know, and that's how you know, like, people in this world, they don't read the Bible. You know, they don't believe in the scriptures. They don't believe on the words because they wouldn't. How would Christianity, how would you break this down? Remember, the Lord commanded them to destroy nations of people. Commanded who? Israel. Because why? The Lord said that these heathens are reputed as nothing to him. You know, he only has his only fervent lover, his only begotten, the apple of his eye. Who is that? That's only Israel. So these other nations, so the Lord not looking at these other nations as, oh man, you know, you got to be a little gentle on them. Lord told us, look, you go tell them that y'all got to serve us. If you don't, or y'all got to get up out of this land. And if you don't, we gonna kill y'all. So that was the only options. You know, it wasn't no, oh, well, you know, can y'all please? And that's why the Lord said when he come back, I'm not gonna meet thee as a man. We're not gonna be discussing anything. We're not gonna be sitting down, you know, you tell me your grievances and I'll tell you mine. No, man. That's why he got the prophets out here. The prophets is the one telling you the grievances that the Lord got. So when he comes back, it's a wrap. And you other nations, there is no thus saith the Lord for you, like to repent. It was just like, this is what you're going to get, you know. But reading on, it says, verse 35, but were mangled among the heathen and learned their works. And today we're still in that same, and today specifically shows you how people are still learning the works of the heathen. Jeremiah the 10th chapter, learn not the way of the heathen. When you read that down, it's talking about what? Putting up a tree, you know, worshiping, you know, paganistic holidays, which our people are full-fledged doing today, you know. It says, verse 36, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yeah, they sacrificed, and that goes also into the chip. You know, serving idols. Was that second Esdras? You know, being idol. You know, feed them with things offered unto idols. You know, and that's going to be a snare to our people. Taking the chip, they're thinking they're looking to save their lives. They're thinking they're looking to have some type of comfort, which really, as the Lord said, he that looketh to save his life shall lose it. So that's going to be a snare unto our people. And that snare is coming up real soon. That mark of the beast, which is a major prophecy, which is going to go up around the whole world, deceiving the people, trying the people. Our people are going to take that as a snare to them, man. And if you're not watching, as we went before, if you're not watching, if you don't have the eye salve, the vision to see, nah, you know what? It's being promoted as something that's a comfort. It's being promoted as something that is necessary or beneficial. But we know when we have the vision to understand that, wait, no, that's a snare. We're not going to go down that path.
It's like, if I may just say, what you just said just brought that thought to my mind. That's why they're demonizing us, because they're trying to get us, the shepherd, away from the sheep so they can come and attack the sheep. You know, because when we're out the way and we're not telling the sheep, hey, come here, don't go here, this is what you got to do based on what we're seeing around, they can come and say, well, don't worry about that. Those were just crazy guys. They were lunatics, you know. And guess what? Like you said, when the spiritual power comes, all right, when it manifests, they're going to say, well, they're an occultist. You know, they practice witchcraft. They're demons, they're this, and they're using, like they said about Yahushua. You know, look at the way they dress. Look at them. Then they're going to start promoting, oh, look at the star of this and that. And they go into this witchcraft to do all these different things. They want to get us out the way, separate the shepherd from the sheep so they can come after the sheep. You know, bring that chip without opposition, without people cursing you out and telling you not to take it.
And you said occult, right? Now, yeah, of course you could say we're in a cult. Yeah, this is an occult. Yes, because what? The word occult, if you knew your words, it just means secrets. Now, Amos 3:7 says what? The Lord will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. What makes this a secret? Knowing the prophecies, knowing what time it is, knowing exactly everything we talk about. That's all secrets. Who gave that unto us? The Most High through the Holy Spirit, man. Okay, knowing the Hebrew, understanding all these different things, man. Okay, so how can you say this? We talk about things you've never heard before, and things that you actually listen and you learn for the first time. You might want to take notes, man. It's all coming up against us, man. But it's all prophecy. It's all part of it. It has to happen like that.
And the word cult actually goes into cultivate or worship, yeah. Because like when you cultivate something, that's what you're tilling. You know, you're tilling the land. Hey, the Lord said that this word is the seed, man. You know, hey, Apollos planted, Paul watered, but the Most High gave the increase. So we are cultivating, and goes. That's where you get the word culture from. We're giving through the Spirit. We're giving our people back their culture. You know, which is a secret, which is separate from every other culture. You know, so this the way of being a Israelite is a cult, because everybody else don't have this way of living. The Lord said, "I've separated you." You know, was that Deuteronomy 7:6? You know, I separated you should be a holy unto the Lord thy power. You go to the word holy, it means separate.
Yeah, it says here, worship, homage, the definition for cult, a particular form or system of worship. So Christianity is a cult, Islam is a cult, Buddhism is a cult. They're different particular forms of worship. Like the brother said, care, labor, cultivation, culture, worship, reverence. So like originally tended, cultivated, you know. So just like he said, man.
Hey, even in the scriptures, they called what Paul, he said that he was a leader of the Nazarene sect. You go to the word sect, it's synonymous with cult, you know, because it's a different type of belief or a different type of worship.
Yeah.
And that's what what they called, what they said, the disciples were first called Christians at Antioch. That's what they called the Christians. They called them a different sect or different cult, because that wasn't normal or typical to what the society of not only just the Jews did, but even also the pagan, the Romans. That was something that they never heard before. Because when Yahushua came, he set a whole different way of worshiping. You know, he set up a whole different way of worshiping, and that to them was a cult, because that was like, hey, we never heard of this thing before. You know, and that same thing with this truth. This truth is something that this world has never heard before, which is why it's considered a new song. Even we're taking the same Bible that's been out, but we're getting the full understanding, the complete understanding from the heavens, the true understandings, and we're presenting that to the world. And that is different than what this world has been given, because they've been given a whole bunch of deceits by way of putting the Bible up. So using the Bible, but using it in perverting the scriptures, perverting the way of the scriptures. So
it's like I put the word sect in Google.
Yeah.
And like you said, a synonym is what? Religious, in parentheses, cult.
So
when you have the sects of the Pharisees, the Sadducees, all of them, so they were cults, right? They were Israelites, right? But the Pharisees, they studied the law. You know, Gamaliel taught Paul. He taught Paul. So he was in a cult as well?
Yeah, how was I taught?
Yeah. So he was in the cult.
But the Lord said the true worshipers. So the true cultists.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
There you go. Because Esau, you're a false cultist. Because you worship Satan, you worship on the Satan left-handed side, man. This so-called Christianity, you're a false cultist. We're a true cultist, man. Yeah. The righteous cult. That's right. Demonization. Look, man, hey, through the Spirit of the Lord, man, we got away with words.
That's right.
Because you devils, y'all have a way with words, but y'all have your way with words in deception. We have a way with words, but with speaking truth. Reading on, it says Psalms 106, and that's why they could never catch Yahushua when they try to come up with Yahushua, because he had a way with words, right? He the perfect example when the Lord asked them, when they asked the Lord, what authority do you have to teach? And he was like, well, I got a question for you. Yeah. John the Baptist. His doctrine, was it from heaven or was it from men? Oh, you answer me, I answer you.
Drop them in their words. There was one answer he gave them. It says, from that day on, there's not asking any more questions.
God. And that's kind of like sometimes that's what they do with us too. When people try to talk to us, I don't want to even deal with you. I don't want to talk to you.
Oh, remember the video? There was an Edomite. He said, I know about you Israelites, and he ran.
I have the video.
The wicked flee.
Nobody said anything to him when no man pursue him.
Before the general sign. So we ain't gonna get hip out of you for 2,000 years. Right now it's time for you to bow. All right? Now it's time for you to bow. That's right. You're the devil too, man. All you so-called white people. All you so-called white people. I know about the Israel. That's right.
You see? He's out. You see? He said, I know about the Israelites. And he booked it. He's a smart devil. He knows what's going on. You want no parts of that.
Luke 21:15. You could against it.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. We'll go back to Psalms 106, verse, where was I? Verse 37. It says, yeah, they sacrifice their sons and their daughters unto devils, which our people doing right now, putting these gifts on this Christmas tree. They don't know that's sacrificing unto these devils, man. You know, that's why they call it, we gotta get in the holiday spirit, the Christmas spirit. That you putting spirits on your children, man. You know?
That's a sacrifice.
Yep. Verse 38, it says, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a whoring with their own inventions. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord Yahweh kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance. And when you go into basically inheritance, it's children. So the Lord said, "What? Jacob is my portion. Israel, a lot of my inheritance." Because when you have a child, you give your child what? Everything that you own, your firstborn child. That's your inheritance. He carries on your legacy, and that's why when we read in Genesis, the scripture says that what? Let us create man in our image. We are supposed to be the image of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Well, Yahweh Shai is the image, such as Colossians, is the express image of the Lord. He's the first of many brethren. So we're supposed to be conformed to the image of his son, Romans 8 chapter, so that whenever anybody looks at Israel, they're looking at the Father. They see, that's why the Lord said, when he puts his laws, statutes, commandments in us, I will be his God, and they should be my children. And he shall where it says, behold, I dwell in the tabernacles of men. So the Lord, when we come back, what you're doing now, but when we get that full manifestation, the new bodies in the kingdom, all these other nations, they're going to, when they see us, they're going to see the image of the Heavenly Father. Right. And that's why we're going to be all righteous. This is what all of Israel shall be righteous. That's the image of the Lord, righteousness. And that hasn't been given to anybody else on this earth. That's why we're going to have to teach the ways to these other nations, because they don't have the image of righteousness. They have the image of idolatry, of wickedness. You know, but we are supposed to be that image of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and that's why we're going to teach these other nations what is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is righteousness. So it says, verse 41, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Now, who's the one that has the most perpetual hatred? Esau, Edom. Right. You know, these other nations are not your friends, man. They only want you in a position of being underneath them. That's how it's always been. It says their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and were brought low for their iniquity. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry. And who is that right now? That's the elect that's crying unto the Lord. Because and that's why we constantly cry to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and it's only the remnant that's going to cry. Because the Lord said, except he gave us a remnant, we would have been like Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. All of Israel has been fucked up because we would have been following constantly after the ways of the heathen, man. But the Lord had that mercy upon us that, you know what, I'm going to set these these men aside, and they're going to be the ones through them, I'm going to save the whole nation of Israel. You know, I was at Romans the 11th chapter, verse 45. And he remembered for them his covenant and repented according to the multitude of his mercies. He made them also to be pitied of all those that carried them captives. And that's why we having that right now. That's why we're able to do these live streams. That's why Esau, we always said, man, you fucked up with slavery, bro. You should have kept us in that state, but you couldn't, because the Lord said he made them to be pitied. You know, at a certain point in time, 50, 70 years ago, we couldn't be doing this. We couldn't be out in the highways and byways prophesying. But the Lord knew, like, look, in order for the elect to be woken up, I got to create a way for my people to be able to go out there in the highways and byways and prophesy. So Esau thought, you know what? The 300 years of Willie Lynch, you know, I'm just going to knock their remembrance of who they are out of their mind. You know, I'm going to destroy the families. I'm going to, pollute what they eat, you know, make McDonald's in every hood, which is, you know, polluting your pineal gland, all right, your spiritual connection. You know, I'm going to feed y'all shit in schools, you know, pagan worship, all these things. Esau thought, all right, so after I do this, after I destroy you, because actually, let me get something real quick. After I destroy you spiritually, I can let you back into the world. Deuteronomy 28, where he said that he should have, he should put you basically until he should put you in chains until you have destroyed. 48, 28, 48.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28. Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
That's chattel slavery right there. I said he should put a yoke upon thy neck until what?
Until he have destroyed thee.
Now, Esau Because Scripture says that what? That the Lord said that he would never do away with Israel. So he put that yoke upon our neck until he had destroyed us, but not talking physically, talking about spiritually. Because after slavery, Esau did that whole 200 something years of slavery, thinking that I'm going to destroy you spiritually. I'm going to destroy your mind. I'm going to, what Bain said? Well, I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body. Esau, he put that yoke upon our neck until he broke us spiritually. So then everything that people thought of, Israel thought of, was based off of what Esau taught us. Plantation Christianity, these so-called holidays, eating abominable foods, all these things, he did that so that he gave us the most majority of it in slavery. So after he broke us spiritually, he was like, you know what? Now I can take this yoke off your neck. But he didn't consider the latter end of the Lord pitying us and giving us the memory, in the land of our captivity of who we are. That's why Esau is so bugged out over how do these people know, who they are? How do they know the name of the Lord? How do they know to repent? How do they know not to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster? I destroyed them. I had them in slavery. I destroyed them mentally, spiritually. I broke them. But the Lord said, what? I pitied them. And that's why that's why he's the one that gave us the remembrance, put us in remembrance of who we are, calling upon his name. And that's why Esau now is like, you know what? I can't physically put the whole nation back into slavery. So I just got to demonize these people because the majority of these people are still asleep. But these certain ones that are out here teaching, those are the ones that I gotta demonize. I gotta make to look as that they're bugged out. They're crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say, the elect are sort of like that spiritual alarm clock that the Lord set in advance. And so when the time is right, the alarm just started beeping. You might be asleep, but the alarm will wake you up and remind you, oh, shit, I gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying? Or, oh, shit, this got to go on. So once that alarm starts beeping, people start waking up. You might wake up first. You be like, oh, yo, it's 6. Yo, wake up. Yo, wake up. And that's that problem. Esau's like, fuck, how the hell these niggas wake up, man? Yep. And like the scriptures say, the Lord saw our cries, all right, and remembered the covenant that he made. So that alarm, just like you said it, to remind you to wake your ass up because you got to be somewhere, okay? The elect is sort of like that spiritual alarm clock, all right, that is beeping right now. And what happens when everybody's asleep and the alarm starts beating? People start waking up, like, yo, what's going on? Now everybody's coming to see you go, yo, can somebody turn that off? I
got a quick precept backing up what you said earlier. There's a book of Psalm chapter 83, verse 3. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Who's the Lord's people? Deuteronomy 7:6 tells you that, the children of Israel. Okay, it says what? And consulted against thy hidden ones. Okay, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Okay, so that's why the so-called Jews don't call themselves Israel. They call themselves Jewish. You see, it wasn't until the men of the Lord came out and started calling themselves Israelites. That's when that word came back into existence again. Because for so long, during slavery and all that, there was no such thing as Israelites. Whenever people heard of Israelites, they thought about, oh, the children of Israel in the Bible. Oh, but what about where they are today? Oh, well, the lost tribes of Israel. Lost tribes. That's it. End of story. No, they exist today. Okay, but who are they? That's the real question.
And also backing that up, that's why he has a problem with us. He keeps trying to demonize and calling us Black Hebrew Israelites because he's trying to cut us off from remembering, cut off the name of Israel from being a nation. He wants us to call us Black. He wants to call us African American, but he doesn't want the name of the nation of Israel to be remembered. Because remember, they're a state of Israel, and there's Israelis, and they call themselves Jews. So that's not even Jew is not a nation. Jew is a tribe. Israeli is not even nowhere in the Bible. The state of Israel, there's no states. Like, what do you mean? There's a nation of Israel. So you're not even calling yourselves according to the ancient biblical customs of what the people of Israel call themselves. We're the only ones that's doing that.
That's right. It says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Okay, now you look up the word confederate, goes back to the word com and federal. Okay, now com means with, and federal is an alliance. Okay, so they've had an alliance, hence we have the United Nations, you have EU, you have NATO, all these different organizations, so-called organizations, are there to what? To oppress the nation of Israel, believe it or not. That's how powerful this nation is, man. Starting off with us. So why do you think they go for Bilderberg meetings, the Council of Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, all these different things are there to what? To promote certain agendas, to oppress majority of our people, and also to blind them. Okay, and also to what? To have a league against the Most High, man. Okay, committing blasphemies against the Most High. That's why they have the Catholic Church. Okay, so they can control the religious sector or the religious part, the spiritual part of what? Jake's awakening. But then through the YouTube, as simple as the YouTube, guess what? This word is coming out, man. There's a revolution. There's an awakening, a spiritual awakening, man. Okay, a remembrance of who you are as sons of the power, man. And that's a powerful thing, and that is why they're coming up against us, man. They're demonizing us for doing simple as YouTube videos, man. How can that even be a thing, man? You know what I'm saying? But it's all through the Spirit, man. It says it right here.
Okay, I got to quickly. Ultimately, it's through the Spirit, and that's why the weapons that we fight are not with actual carnal weapons, because Esau knows was this 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse. Start at I'm gonna start at 2. It says, "But I beseech you that I may not be bold." Actually, like 3. It says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds." All right, and that's what's happening right now. Esau, his strongholds. Remember, it's all about the mental. It's all about mental / spiritual. He had a strong spiritual hold on our people. And it's by way of promoting all these things that goes against the way of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Understanding that you might think, oh, eating pork, how is that, something that's spiritual? But that's something that the Lord told you not to do. So you're supposed to worship the Lord in spirit and in truth, having faith. So if you do something that the Lord tells you not to do carnally, you're basically disconnecting yourself spiritually from the Most High. And that's why Esau promotes a whole bunch of wicked things carnally, knowing that I'm taking you spiritually. I'm having a stronghold on your spirit spiritually. So it says, but we, through the Spirit of the Lord, we're telling our people to stop doing these things so you can have a spiritual connection with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 5, it says, "And casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High," which is what Esau does, "and bring it into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled." And that's why it's only about the elect, because we know once the elect gets in that obedient state of mind, the Lord is going to be ready to revenge everybody else that's disobedient. And starting with who? 2/3 of our people in Esau, Edom, man, because that's who the scripture says, "But the children of disobedience," that's Esau, and he's what is that scripture? The ways of righteous is the ways of man is righteous, but the wicked seduceth them. Something to that effect. I think it's Isaiah the 26th chapter. A man is more righteous than his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked seduceth him, and that's Esau.
Proverbs 12 and 26.
Oh, Proverbs. So yeah, get that. Yeah.
This is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. "The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor."
And that's who? That's Israel. And Esau knows that. Hey, even going back to the garden, all right, the serpent, all right, which was Esau, he knew that Adam and Eve and that line was more excellent than him. And he did that, and he was jealous of that line because he knew that Adam had immortality. These other beasts of the field, they didn't have immortality. Adam had immortality, which Esau, when we go into Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter, Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter, it tells you that death came by envy of the devil. All right, going back to who? The deceiver, the devil, the deceiver, going back to the serpent, going back to Esau. That's how death came into our world. Because they already had it in their world, but death came into our world by envy of the devil, because he knew that we was more excellent than him. Just like with Esau and Jacob and Esau. What did Esau say to Esau? "The days of the morning my father's at hand, and then I will what? Slay my brother Jacob." It was always about Adam and Cain and Abel. Cain, what? He was a murderer from the beginning. He brought death into our existence, man.
And that's how do we know that? Because the scripture, so the brother even said that. He says what? The Lord said what? "Let us make man in our own image and likeness." That man is talking about the Israelites, man, because we're separate, we're different, we've always been different. And when that Spirit of the Lord comes back into us, when he gives us that renewal of the new bodies and the new flesh, the spiritual bodies and the new heart. Okay, guess what? We're gonna go back to our original state, man. Okay, before we became fallen, we're gonna go back to being risen again, man. All right.
Hey, because it says right here, where is it? It said that he created
Man to be immortal.
to be immortal. Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 2 verse 23. For God created man to be immortal and made to be an image of his own eternity.
Ooh.
Now, that's talking about Israel, man. That's talking about the sons of God. That's why Genesis 6 chapter, it says the sons of God saw the daughters of men. The sons of God, when you literally, that's what we've always been known as. Even in the heavens, we were known as the sons of God, the first family. You know, that's why the sons of the power. Yeah, and that's why he says, "What I have said, you are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High." If you are a child of eternity, then what does that make you? It makes you eternity. You know, and that's why. Hey man, that's why we're the only ones that bear that name, Israel. The Lord said, "I surnamed you." You know, but go back to that.
Proverbs 12:26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them.
The way of the wicked seduced our people, man. That's why the Lord commanded us when we went into the land of Israel, hey, kill all them Canaanites, man. Because their way is a wicked way, and it's going to seduce you because you're in the flesh.
Yeah.
You know? That's why I learned not the way of the heathen. That's why we're supposed to be separate, be holy, don't be amongst these heathen people, man. If you are, have them underneath your foot.
Right.
That's it. And especially Esau, Edom. So our people is making leagues with Esau. You're making a league with the son of perdition. Perdition means destruction. You know, hey, even told you that in Isaiah the 29th chapter that you made a covenant with death. That's Esau, man. Our people, you know, he's not so bad. You know, Edomites. You're trying to make a covenant means an agreement. You're making an agreement with the man of death, man, the man of sin.
Yeah, and what does the scriptures tell you about that? It tells you what? Trust not thine enemy. For like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man.
It only gets worse.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's rusty doesn't mean that it's done, it's destroyed. No, you could have a rusty freaking iron, but if you shine it up again, you could have a sword that you haven't used in a while. It's gonna get rusty. But once you shine it up again, you could cut some shit. You know what I'm saying? You could really do some shit with that, cause some damage. It's the same thing for Esau. You know what I'm saying? He keeps on with that, hey, how you doing? Hey, Billy, what's up? He gives you a job here and there. He gives you a little pay raise. He talks sports with you. All of a sudden, you think he's cool. Oh, he's not an Edomite no more. Nah, bro. Edomites, let me tell you, when that time comes, man, they'll show you their true self. Okay, when they get together, the kind of conversations they have.
Yeah, so-called Christmas. You know, they're around a fucking ham hog talking about these niggers, man. Your own boss, your co-worker, everybody, man.
Yeah, hey, there was actually an article about a woman who had a pet snake, and the snake wasn't eating for a long time. You know, so she's thinking, oh, you know, the snake and all that. And she worried about the snake. You know, come to find out that the snake was plotting to swallow her ass up. You know, so you out here thinking, oh, because he hasn't strike, he hasn't eaten for a while, you know, maybe he's changed, maybe he's this, maybe he's that. That motherfucker's planning to eat your ass. You know, Esau coming at you nice and easy to get you off guard so that he can prepare you as a meal. All right?
Yeah, with the Native Americans?
Yeah.
You know, and when Esau's true colors show when they're angry, okay, or when you stop becoming what they want you to become. That's why they're pissed off at us. Esau's gonna be cool with you. I see that with Odell Beckham Jr., that guy. All these athletes, the moment they buck up a little bit, they get demonized right away. The media's going, oh, this guy, Antonio Brown. Oh, he's talking again. He's saying he wants more money than that. Oh, no, this guy's crazy. They demonize you right away. It's the same thing. Esau will demonize anyone who comes against his scheme, his agenda. So whenever you see anyone getting demonized in the media, step back and watch and really get a scope of things. Don't just be in it like this. Step back and see the whole picture and then be, okay, this is okay, all right. And then make your own judgment. And maybe the Most High have mercy on you, okay? But you coming out here against us because Esau's pushing a certain narrative. You got a lot of idiots. Those fools that was on Twitter, when that shit happened, man, I was watching and laughing. I'm reading this shit and laughing like, yo, people are really stupid as hell. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they need to be destroyed because you can't come back. Nobody can save you. There's no amount of teachings that's going to really cleanse your mind, bro. Open your mind, free your mind. It's not gonna happen. You have to be destroyed on this side, man. It is what it is. Okay. You got any more? I'm done.
Yeah,
Think brother against him.
No, I was going to say because this is what you said about media, seeing the whole scope and show you like this is what media, but this is what's really happening. So it looks like he's stabbing him, but really he's coming after him.
Right.
You know, and that's what Esau does.
Yep.
You know. On the TV, it shows that the guy that's running away, it looks like he's trying to stab the other guy, but really what's really happening is the guy's running away from the guy that's trying to stab him. And that's what Esau basically is doing to us, man. We're not running, but he's trying to paint us as being the evil ones or the wicked when he's really the wicked.
Who wants you that call good evil and evil good? That's that right there.
Yep. You know, so yeah, we'll close it out right there. You know, Lord willing, this was our edifying to the elected, Lord, impromptu. You know, stay in the spirit. You know what I mean? Stay in the spirit. Things are happening. You know, so-called 2020, Lord willing, not be the year. All right, the year of the vision. You know, though it tarry, wait for it shall surely come to pass, man. So, you know, with that,
Shabbat just came in too.
Khan, yeah.
We're watching for big things, man.
Yeah, signs of the times. You know, the Lord is going to definitely manifest more and more things. You know, stay upon your watchtower, man. So, with that, call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakak, Dash. Shalom to the house of David, man.
Shalom.
Shalom.